Hello, welcome back to the Cutting Room Floor of the show where your favorite creator, me hopefully, gets to talk about some fantastic projects. God, I've missed this. I've missed you, I've missed doing this, and I've missed sitting here talking about films, talking about projects, talking about experiences. And what's a better experience than a trip? A trip to, I don't know, Italy, somewhere in Tuscany. Well, I would love to go one day, but the project I'm talking about today, I feel like it took me there. You, me, and Tuscany. We're talking about the Rom-Com from 2026, You, Me, and Tuscany. Let's get right into it. First off, you guys like what I did there? A little wordplay? I feel pretty good about it. That was like top of my head. Just a little shout out to myself. That I was feeling pretty proud about that one. Anyways, You, Me, and Tuscany is a 2026 rom-com starring Halle Berry and I'm sorry, I'm gonna butcher this. I'm gonna try, but I need to read. I feel I'm gonna look like an idiot. It's gotta pronounce Reggae Jean Page. You know this guy. And Marco Calvani, who you guys don't know, talked about before, plays one of my favorite characters in in the Four Seasons. Claude, which is Danny's wife, but getting into husbands, but that's not what we're talking about today. We are talking about You, Me, and Tuscany. Fun film. Good. So, this was a film that I saw trailers for, and I went, you know what, this might be really fun to go watch. But rom-coms, as much as I love them, it really sometimes they don't hit. Sometimes they just stumble a little bit, and they don't really get the impact that you're looking for. And whether that's the awkward chemistry between your leads, or the absurd premise of the story, or anything between. But you'll be glad to know that You, Me, and Tuscany, I don't feel like suffers from any of those deficits. This was originally a film I wanted to go see in theaters with Abby, my now wife. First of all, let me just quickly apologize. Coughing and everything. I am recovering from a sickness. I'll talk about the end of the video today. But I'm going to try to keep the coughs held in. Okay? But I want to go see this in theaters. It was a movie that's very much up her alley. She wanted to go see it. Our schedules just did not align, and it was out of theaters before we realized. And that bummed us out. We forgot to go watch it on streaming, and it wasn't until we were on our honeymoon. And they had a complimentary movie theater where they were just showing movies a couple times a day. And we were sitting there, and we're scrolling through all the options, trying to see, what ones do we want to go see, what ones do we not care to see. And our last night of the trip, boom, You, Me, and Tuscany. And I'm like, well, what do you know? And I was like, that'd be perfect. I want to go see that. So we get together and we go. You, Me, and Tuscany stars Halle Berry and Reggae Jean Paul. I feel like an idiot. John Page, yeah. In this rom-com about Halle Berry's character, who she is. I'm just trying to explain her character. You see, she is this house sitter who, as she calls herself, is too afraid to live her own life, so she lives through other people's lives. Now, she's not always been like this. She wanted to be a chef. It was her and her mom's dream to fly to Italy, find a restaurant, start her life there. But her mom died. Not before buying her, though, a ticket to Italy. But in the meantime, since she died, she's been house sitting and living other people's lives. Literally. The movie opens, and I'm going to try and keep it spoiler free, but you know it's not going to happen. It opens with the homeowner coming home to find her stealing her clothes, and, wait for this, wearing the homeowner's lingerie. Blech. Excuse me? That's crazy. That deserves jail. She was wearing her lingerie, and she's like, are you wearing my, like, button-up lingerie? And she goes, I was going to wash it. Keep it. Keep it. She gets fired. Is homeless again. The usual. You know how it goes in these movies. And she goes to the hotel that her best friend works at and tries to get a room. Doesn't get it. So she goes to the bar instead to charge her phone and have a meal. And while there, she starts to flirt with this attractive Italian realtor. And they get to talking, and he shows her this nice villa he owns in Italy that's empty because he doesn't go there anymore. He flips through it, shows her some pictures. They go up, and they're going to have sex, and then he passes out. But she goes onto his phone because it's unlocked. She airdrops the photo of them together, and the photo of his place. The next day, he leaves, super generous, says, order whatever you want. He's, like, clear about her, like, financial situation and everything. And she has this idea that it's a sign to go to Italy. He practically invited her to go stay at his villa. So what would any sane person do? Anyone? Oh, did you say fly to Italy without any plans during a very busy festival and then decide to break into his villa? If you guessed that, well, jail, but you're also correct. So she flies to Italy, not to initially stay in his villa, but just to experience the culture in Tuscany. And as luck would have it, she's flown there during the summer festival. The busy festival without any accommodations. So she's pretty much homeless. And broke. But you know what? She has the address of this Italian man's home. So what does she do? She gets her taxi driver to drive her there, and she breaks in. And you think all is fine, it'll be whatever. She goes around the house, and she's fully invading privacy. But as she does, she's going through cabinets, drawers, opens a box, and oh, what's that? It's a engagement ring. And for some reason, she puts it on, and then goes and sleeps. Showers, does laundry, and that's when things start to heat up. Because his mother and grandmother come to clean, and they find her. And they're questioning her. They're about to call the police when they realize her ring. And they go, don't you see? She's engaged to him. And she goes, I am. I came here. It's a surprise. We were going to tell you together. He's coming home, and it comes out that he's estranged from his family. And things are moving very fast. This family is very excited. They miss him. Things fly. Sparks fly. She meets Reggae John Page. I'm sorry. Okay, let me just. Halle Bailey plays Anna. He plays Michael. I'm gonna call my other characters' names because I can't be asked to remember that. Anna and Michael had an interaction when she first showed up. He bought her a sandwich. He was kind of rude to her. Almost hit her with a car. But what do you know? He's the cousin brother, pretty much. And in the time that she's there planning this wedding, well, she starts to fall for him because she realizes he's actually not a bad guy. And, well, sparks fly. Things get a little too over the line for him, considering it's like his brother's fiance, and he's like having these really romantic moments. They go out to this. He has her try all the wine, and then she gets drunk and runs to the field to eat a grape. And then the irrigation system goes off, and he gives her his shirt to protect her hair, and they get to the very edge, and they have like this, both of them are soaking wet, like, hard breathing, staring at each other, you know, like when they're about to make out. And there's just a tour van there, and the lady's like, can I go on that tour? There's 2 scenes where they have this tour bus. I love those. Those are so funny. And it's, they do this during the credits, the bloopers. They're just ad-libbing a bunch of different, like, one-liners, jokes. My favorite one is the second one where it's these 2 ladies in it, and it very much is like they just put the actors on the actual tour. And they say it, and she goes, I'll get to you in 2 to 3 weeks or something like that. And then the other lady goes, he doesn't look like he has 2 to 3 weeks. And it's just like so many of these one-liners. They're really funny, and they're honestly really good. But Anna and Michael, they keep falling for each other. And then, I'm sorry, guys. Normally I know the character's names better, but unless I don't. Mateo. Okay, so Anna's pretending to be engaged to Mateo. Mateo's ex, Isabel, is there, and she has this little bitch moment with Anna, and then leaves, and calls Mateo, who shows up to find Anna sleeping in his bed, in his clothes, because she doesn't have her. That's a weird one, where it's very much like, you see her still living someone else's life, but like, growing into her own, and then it's like, why is she wearing his pajamas? She packed her own clothes. And it's just a weird moment there. Mateo comes back, and they initially go to come clean, but then the family embraces him, and he goes, no, this is the best thing ever. We'll leave in 5 days and go. But she keeps falling in love with the family, and the city, and the people, and the culture, and she doesn't want to leave. And they're stepping up, and his father has a health issue, but because she's culinary trained, it becomes like, oh, you'll help out for the final night of the festival and like be a sous chef. And all this is happening. Things are coming to a head. It goes so well though, but Mateo doesn't appear the whole day because he's making out with Isabel, and Michael sees it, but he holds it in. Because while yes, he has very strong feelings for Anna, he does have that line that he's not going to actually cross it, despite the encouraging from, like, Mateo's father. That was a little out of left field. But they're there. And at the very end of the night, it's a success. Things are going so well. They're all chatting, and Mateo goes, we're leaving. We're leaving in 2 days back to New York. And then we'll come back and visit, of course, but 2 days, and out of nowhere, and everyone's like, what? Like, but Anna, you were, like, this is coming out of nowhere, like, what? Like, I don't get it. And she's like, I'm so sorry, like, yeah, it's just what has to happen. And all out fight breaks out. Mateo and Michael get into a fist fight over it, because Michael's like, she doesn't know what you want, like, you don't deserve her. And what do you know? Now, Anna decides to tell the truth. Comes out and says it. I lied. We're not engaged. And everyone turns on her. She leaves, she cries, she misses the bus. So she sits and she falls asleep at the bus stop. Everything's ruined. Her life is terrible. And then the grandmother, who did not like her and was very suspicious, comes and goes, family. Family forgives. And all the family's there to forgive her and like welcome her back and say, go get Michael, go to him. He's the one you want. He wants you. You have a passion for each other. So she goes and she participates in this wedding tradition where they serenade the other, and now all past mistakes are forgiven and you have to move forward in your new life together. She does that and they kiss. And then we have the next tour bus scene, and life is good. And that's You, Me, and Tuscany. It's a nice film. Now, I really enjoyed this one. I actually think that the chemistry, like I said, it was an issue. And I feel like that's a really big thing with a rom-com. It does not work if your love interests do not have good chemistry, and they do. And Anna honestly grows on you as the film goes on. At first, she's a very unlikable character. From the wearing other people's clothing to the breaking and entering, it's very... Ugh. But things change. And she does become a better character. And I think it's one of those things where actually it's a really nice, like, bit for the idea of, oh, my partner makes me better. Once she meets Michael and, like, actually meets him, she starts to become better and more tolerable. And she makes better decisions. And in general, she's just a more likable character. And she's being very vulnerable and opening up while still guarding that and living the lie. And you can tell that she's, like, willing to just unleash it all and let it all out and be honest. And, well, they don't let that happen. They keep shutting it down. Like, they take every opportunity that she tries to take, and she doesn't really try all that much to tell them. Which is, well, I was going to say understandable, but I don't get it. But it is what it is. And that being said, she is not my favorite character in the film. Now there's Michael. I love Francesca. She's the sister of Matteo. She just, like, she was so funny. I found myself laughing pretty much every time she talked. And so she's married, but she, like, right away just giving unhinged advice. She's like, oh, like, key to happy marriage is a side piece. The plumber. And then, like, that keeps showing up. She has, like, this, like, zucchini or cucumber, and she goes, it reminds me of the plumber. Excuse me? Then he shows up and she goes, always good to have someone who can clean your pipes on speed dial. What? And it's, like, a very open thing about her, like, affair. And then in the, like, when she's, like, welcoming Anna truly to the family after they know the truth, she goes, I have another confession to make. I regret having an affair with the plumber. Nah, no, I don't. I don't regret it at all. It's just like, what? Like, I don't go into this expecting that. But honestly, it was a really fun film, like, movie. You know, it's sweet, it's enjoyable, all the characters are entertaining. This is definitely one of those that you have to, like, truly suspend your disbelief to let it get in there. You know, some of them, it's like, is this like an unrealistic situation? Sure. But this one's like a very, what the fuck? Like, if we take out that this is a rom-com, the premise of this film, the very beginning bit, this just seems like the beginning of a Netflix true crime documentary. Okay? A woman who oversteps as a house sitter and lives other people's lives and gets fired decides that she's going to fly to Tuscany for a week without any plans. And she decides to break into the house of a not even one night stand that she had. Then she pretends to be his fiance to get close to his, like, this just screams crazy. And so in the end, for them to be like, y'all make mistakes, it's like, yeah, but that's like that was terrifying. She fully, like, first of all, you guys have no stranger danger. You let her fully into your lives like it was nothing. But at the end of the day, it's a rom-com, it's a movie, it's fun. There's no issues with it. It's a genuinely good watch. And I really did enjoy it. I'm glad we got to see it finally, and I'm glad we got to see it in the theater, because I think it's definitely one of those that at times didn't quite capture me and captivate me. But I'm very glad that we watched it and I actually stuck it through, because I did really enjoy it. It's definitely one I would recommend. So if you are a rom-com fan, even if you're not, it's not too long. And there's some good comedy in it, you know? Are there moments that make you cringe? Absolutely. It's a rom-com based on a misunderstanding, and I feel like that's just how it goes. You know what I mean? I think there's a couple different types of rom-coms, and the one that I'm always the least willing to give a chance to is the ones that are built on the misunderstanding spirals into this love story, or deception spirals into this love story. But I think this one does it in a decent way, and in a way that I found it enjoyable. So, You, Me, and Tuscany. Go check it out. And with that, that's the end of this week's episode of The Cutting Room Floor. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for being supporters. Before I say anything else, I want to say I'm sorry that there have not been more episodes this month. I do apologize. I love you all, and it's meant the world, and you have no idea how bad I've been feeling while I've been away and just not in the mindset to make videos, to see all of you new people joining and supporting here. So, but first, before anything else, thank you. Thank you so much. Your names are scrolling by here. You all mean the world to me. We are now into the level 1s, level 2, like all that. So for whatever tier you join to support me, thank you all so much. It means the world to me. I really, truly am sorry that there were not more episodes. A vlog came out today at 11, well actually you guys are going to say early access, but at 11 a.m. Saturday, a vlog came out. Please check it out. It kind of, the past like 3 vlogs actually have been giving a decent explanation of why. Obviously you guys can tell, this is a different layout, different setting. I have not filmed like this before. It's because I'm in a new apartment. Right after our wedding, we had to move, and we went on our honeymoon, came back, and then in the week since, I've done nothing but move, work, and be sick. And you guys can probably still hear it in my voice. I've been quite sick. I've been losing my voice. I've been feeling terrible. I'm starting to go. I'm on the med now. I'm getting better, feeling better. So, yeah. Videos are going to be more regular, okay? You guys can expect the Saturday, the early access to this one and your exclusive one every Tuesday. There's also a Sweetcast episode coming out, getting back with Cameron now that we're out of everything like we talked about in the last episode of the Sweetcast. Things are going to be returning back to normal amongst everything. So please continue to support me, continue to be here enjoying however you can. I love you all. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Drop a like down below. If you want to become a Patreon, the link is in the description down below. Go click and join. You can even become a free patron, and sometimes I throw out a little teaser to you guys. But for nothing else, also, it just means the world that you support me. I do truly appreciate you guys all so much. So thank you. I love you. And I'll see you guys in another episode very soon. Goodbye.